lives matter or just some black lives? The black babies killed in the abortions clinics matter, right? Thought so. Awful quiet now, aren't they? If we don't respect the lives of our unborn children enough to save them and fight for them, our lives mean nothing once we're born.
America is reckoning with racism coming tonight for Planned Parenthood. The Greater New York branch will remove the name of organization founder Margaret Sanger.
Sanger advocated for sterilization to stop the reproduction of, quote, inferior people.
As a member of the American Eugenics Society, she advocated improving the genetic composition of humans through controlled reproduction of different races and classes.
Margaret Sanger strived for a society that limited births to only those she deemed fit to have children.
Well, I think the greatest sin in the world is bringing children into the world that have disease from their parents, that have no chance in the world to be a human being, practically. Delinquents, prisoners, all sorts of things just marked when they're born. That, to me, is the greatest sin.
Planned Parenthood touted Margaret Sanger's accomplishments and outreach to the African-American community and tried to explain away things like a speech she made to the Ku Klux Klan in 1926 and her belief in eugenics, the theory of improving human qualities by controlling human reproduction, something famously implemented by Nazi Germany in the 1930s.
In 1939, after opening another clinic in Harlem, the birth control activists launched the Negro Project, an initiative supported by black leaders, claimed the program used the pretense of better health and family planning for poor blacks in the South as an attempt to limit the black race.
Sanger wove into the fabric of Planned Parenthood this eugenic idea that we can just decide that some people should not have children for their benefit and for the benefit of society.
Sanger, in the end, is one of the great figures in the history of women.
When my grandmother started out 100 years ago, virtually everyone was against it. It was an extraordinary accomplishment.
I agree with him. It is an extraordinary accomplishment. I mean, the fact that she got black people themselves to complete her mission. I mean, wow. I don't really understand how anyone who's pro-choice, justifies this, comes to acknowledge this, know about this, and somehow don't understand what's going on. To me, it's almost like a supervillain came into society and said, these are my plans, this is my outline, how to destroy the world. And then progressives picked it up and went, okay, step one. She gave you her plan and you just keep following the steps. Who are the most aborted? Black babies and babies that might have some sort of mental or physical disability. Who are the people that Margaret Sanger wanted to abort the most? Black or brown people, or people of any other ethnicity besides white, and babies who will be disabled mentally or physically. She literally uses the same talking points that pro-choicers use today. Well, why should a baby be brought into the world if they're gonna just be living in poverty, if they're not gonna be able to get a good education, if they're not gonna have a good home or good parents? They should just be aborted. Same thing Margaret Sanger said. I don't understand how people rationalize this to themselves. And don't be fooled. They mentioned that, black leaders also supported this. What did Malcolm X say about black leaders supporting liberal and progressive ideologies?
In this game of deceiving and using the American Negro, the white liberals have complete cooperation of the Negro civil rights leaders who sell our people out for a few crumbs of token recognition, token gains, token progress.
And the fact that she was saying that, black people are trying to get rid of any race or whatever that's going to be a detriment to society. They're going to just be predators and drug addicts and all these things. What did Biden say when he was making that speech about the whole crime bill?
They must be taken off the street. Unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without any conscience developing, because they literally have not been socialized. We have predators on our streets. They are beyond the pale, many of those people. We have no choice but to take them out of society. And the truth is, we don't very well know how to rehabilitate them at that point. But they are in jail, away from my mother, your husband, our families.
It's also funny to me how you see a lot of like pro-black woke people talking about representation and the media and movies and Hollywood or in politics and schools and the police force and all these things where we make up what 13% of the population. When it comes to like ratio, we are kind of represented. We are the minority, right? But we didn't have to be if we didn't fucking extremely significantly stunt our birth rate. We could be more involved with those things if there was more of us. That's it, guys. That's all I have to say about that. It's just, to me, if you don't see it, it's blankly clear. It's written in plain English for anybody to see, but most pro-choicers will constantly rationalize playing this sort of cognitive dissonance game with themselves to make somehow what she said her plan was to not be the case today, when it's literally factually the case. Again, more black babies are killed and murdered and aborted, and more babies who are undesired because they may have mental or emotional disabilities. That is exactly was the plan and the mission of Margaret Sanger. Good the fuck bye.